Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Sunday evening to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are in week 16 of our London Bulldogs 2022 NFL franchise, so let's check out the playoff picture and see what we're at. We're still at the number 2 seed, and if playoffs ended today, well, if the regular season ended today, we would be facing the Detroit Lions at home. The Carolina Panthers would host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Seattle Seahawks would be hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. For the AFC side, the Kansas City Chiefs would be hosting the Baltimore Ravens. The Tennessee Titans would be hosting the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Miami Dolphins would be hosting the Cleveland Browns. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chicago Bears both have a first round bye, so they are not required to play a wild card game. So, with that being said, we'll see you at kickoff time.
Today, from London, England, it's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Brees and the London Bulldogs versus Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
Alright, now it is kickoff time here at Wembley Stadium in London, England, which was home of the 2012 Summer Olympics, as the London Bulldogs kick this away, and CJ Ham, I think, is returning for Minnesota, and he gets stopped at the 33 there. This is a first down and 10. We see the Michigan State product, Kirk Cousins, stepping onto the field for the first time today, and he got drafted in 2012, the same year that Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin III were drafted. So he hands the ball off to Dalvin Cook, the Florida State man. He does not lose nor gain any yards on that play, so now this is going to be a second down and 10 now, and now we see Kirk Cousins. He gets sacked by Jordan Hicks, the first sack of the game by this London Bulldogs defense. So now this is going to be a result of a 3rd and 14 now here for the London Bulldogs. So now they throw the football. That is going to be an incomplete pass, so this will result in a 4th down. So in the last episode that we filmed against the Atlanta Falcons, we actually skipped last week's matchup, which was supposed to be last week's matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. And we actually when we played against the Atlanta Falcons, Odell Beckham Jr. had 2 punt returns for touchdowns, back-to-back, by the way. And I'll have the link to the video if you guys want to check that out. So now, 1st and 10, we see Drew Brees stepping onto the field for the first time today. The Purdue product passes it to Golden Tate way deep across the field, and he jumps on into the end zone to score the first points of the game for the Huskies. So that was a 64-yard touchdown, and this is now going to be 7-0 here in London. Alright, now this is going to be a 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line as Kirk Cousins throws the football. That is going to be an incomplete pass, so this is now going to be a 2nd down and 10 here for the Minnesota Vikings as they take the field. And now they're going to hand the football off to Dalvin Cook, and he will get stopped at the 38 for only a gain of 2 yards there. 3rd and 8 now for Minnesota. And now they're going to take the field. He gets sacked, Kirk Cousins, by Tony Jefferson II. And now this is going to be a result of a 4th and 16. And now we get to see Odell Beckham Jr. again ready to return the punt here for the Bulldogs. So now he's going to return this. And Odell Beckham Jr., he's going to return this all the way into the end zone. And that is going to be considered a Bulldogs touchdown. And this is the first special teams touchdown of the game, his 5th on the year. And I said this about a couple minutes ago, that In the video when we battled off against the Atlanta Falcons, in the first quarter, Odell Beckham Jr. returned it twice, back to back, and that led to the victory over the Falcons. So we're gonna take a break. We'll see you guys when we're back on offense. Alright, now 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. 4th and 7 now for the here for the Vikings, as they have to punt this away, and Jalen Ramsey will be ready to return here for the Bulldogs. And he is still on his feet, ready to return, and he does get stopped close to the 50-yard line, I'd have to say, which is about the middle of the field, so just keep that in mind. So now, 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line, and now I'm going to throw this deep to him, and Larry Fitzgerald gets a touchdown. So this is London's 3rd touchdown of the game, 20,000 career receiving yards by Larry Fitzgerald, and this is now going to be 21-0 here in London. So we'll see you guys in the second quarter. All right, now it's 21-0 here in London, so we'll see you guys after the kickoff. Okay, now this is 1st and 10, 3:56 to go in the first half, and the London Bulldogs are leading us by 21. The Vikings have not even scored any points, not even a touchdown, field goal, or 2-point safety. And now they throw the football, the fumble is out, and London, apparently Jalen Ramsey, it looks like, returned the fumble, and he slides on into the end zone, and that is a touchdown for the Bulldogs. So this is now going to be 28-0 here in London. So since he did a great job on that fumble recovery for a touchdown, so now it was caught for Benson, and then he dropped the ball, and then apparently Jalen Ramsey recovered it. We're going to take a break. All right, now it's 4th and 10. Jalen Ramsey is ready to return the punt here for the London Bulldogs, who just recently returned a incredible fumble recovery for a touchdown, and we get stopped at the 20-yard line. So now this is going to be a 1st and 10 here for the Bulldogs. So now we're going to use some Joe Flacco, and Harold McGrady gets a reception there, 1 for 1, 25 yards. So he's going to play quarters 2 and 3, Flacco. And then 4th quarter, we're thinking about using Ben Roethlisberger. And I just decided for him to just play the 1st quarter, really. And there is a flag. It is a PI to my knowledge. Maybe it's a legal block in the back, so it could be defensive pass interference, so we're going to automatically accept that no matter what it takes for our football team. And now this is going to be a 1st and 10 from the 23. He's going to throw the football, and that is going to be an incomplete pass. So now we're going to use our recent plays, and now this is going to be a 2nd and 10 now from the 23. We only got 13 seconds before this first half is over. So now 1 for 3. And he just throws so now 3rd and 10. I'm going to throw this to Alshon Jeffrey. Gets it into the end zone for a touchdown. We'll see you guys in the second half. All right, now it is kickoff time here in London, home of Buckingham Palace, to begin the second half, and Joe Hayden is ready to return here for London, and it's now a 36-0 lead. We just scored a 2-point conversion with Frank Gore, and now we're going to use some Joe Flacco up until the 3rd quarter ends, and then 4th quarter I'm just going to use Alshon Jeffrey. So now use Ben Roethlisberger, excuse me. I was about to say, I was going to throw the pass intended for Alshon Jeffrey, but I passed it to Larry Fitzgerald anyway. Now we're going to do a passing play on 1st down and 10. We're at the 45-yard line. So now Flacco, he's thinking about throwing it to Alshon Jeffrey, and gets stopped at the 21-yard line. 4 for 6, 96 yards and 1 touchdown there. So now I'm just going to use a running play, 26 duo alert. So I'm going to use Melvin Gordon the third. So if he gets a first down, he'll at least have 1,000 yards rushing in this season. So he only gained about 3. And now we're going to use the X post pass play on second and 7, because we only gained about 3 yards on that play. And I'm going to throw the ball to Harold McGrady, and he gets this into the end zone. That is a touchdown for the London Bulldogs. First receiving touchdown of the game, and it's now going to be 43-0 here in London. Okay, now we get a fumble, and apparently we get this into the end zone. That is a fumble recovery for a touchdown. J.J. Watt with his 12th sack of the year, and Jaleel Mitchell gets a fumble recovery, and this is now going to be 50-0 here in London. And we're going to take a break because he just scored a touchdown, and there goes my usual rule. Whenever we get a punt return for a touchdown or kickoff punt return. So as I was saying, I don't know why I paused there for a moment, but I just wanted to explain. Whenever I do a punt return, kickoff return for a touchdown, or pick six or fumble recovery, I usually just skip until we're back on offense. So we're going to take a break. We'll see you guys when we're on offense. All right, now this is 4th and 9, and we get Jalen Ramsey ready to return the kickoff, ready to return the punt now, and hoping we don't get a touchback, and we unfortunately do. For 1st and 10 now. Apparently, we did not make the PAT whatsoever. We were going to, but then there was a flag for delay of game, and they pushed us back 5 yards. And in regards to that, Drew Brees has 114 passing yards in this game. So both of our quarterbacks, Brees and Flacco, that played both in this game, have surprisingly gained over 260 passing yards total. So now this is going to be a 1st and 10. We're going to take a timeout here to sub out our depth chart. Okay, 1st and 10, 40-yard line. We just subbed them out just to put in Rob Gronkowski, and he does get a reception, and we are down at the 2-yard line. So this is going to be a 1st and goal, and now we're going to sub in for Harold McGrady just to put in one of our linebackers, Dante Hightower. I call them the 60-minute men, really, because of the matter of the fact that they play both offense and defense. Last player to do so was Chuck Bednarik back in 1962 is the last year he played in the NFL. He played all of his 14-year career with the Philadelphia Eagles, actually. And he got drafted in 49 by the Eagles. He didn't play with the Eagles until after World War II. So he was the last of many players to play 60 minutes, both offense and defensively, which is pretty cool. And you see no players doing that today. It's either you play offense or you play defense. So we'll see you guys in the 4th quarter. All right, now this is going to be a 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. There's only 4 minutes to go in this football game, and the Vikings have scored nothing at all. And they're gonna throw the ball to Dalvin Cook there. So season ranking number 1, and we are at number 2 today. So since we're 13-1, hoping to go 14-1. So now we get to see Kirk Cousins. He gets sacked. The ball is out. Apparently, Minnesota recovered, but they're going to be way back. So they lose about 16 yards on that play. So now this is going to be a 3rd and 23 now here for the Minnesota Vikings. They got to throw deep. They got to throw the ball deep. And that was a pass deflection, but it could have been an INT. And this will be 4th down. All right, now this is 56-0. So we only got 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go. 4th and 23 now here for the Vikings, and they have to punt this away. We subbed out Jalen Ramsey to put in Tony Jefferson II. So now this is going to be a 1st and 10, and we see Ben Roethlisberger stepping on the field for the first time today. Played in this league for 18 years, most of them with the Pittsburgh Steelers up until last season when the Washington football team officially became the London Bulldogs. So now we get our first of second of 2 downs, and this is goal line supposedly. So this is going to be a 1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs, and they're aiming to be 14-1 on the year. All right, now this is 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. So now we're going to throw the football to Larry Fitzgerald, and he will get stopped at the 10-yard line. So 3 for 3, 59 yards there. So now 119 yards for Larry Fitzgerald in this football game. This is really incredible to see. A minute 39 to go. I'm going to throw this to... Oh, wait. He almost caught it, but it was deflected, and turns out it was incomplete. So now I have to throw the football again to Rob Gronkowski until he gets his touchdown, and we will take the W here in London. So another incomplete pass. Ugh. 3rd and goal. We're at the 10-yard line. So now we're going to throw the football, and now I'm going to throw it to Gronk. Touchdown, Bulldogs. All right, now this is 1st and 10, 64-0. We attempted a 2-point conversion, and I believe when we faced off the Minnesota Vikings last year in the wild card, I think that was the final score, which I'll also have the link to the video if you guys want to check that out. So 2nd and 14 now. Kirk Cousins, he's trying to think about where he's going to throw it to, and Garrett Bradbury is down and hurt. 3rd down and 14 now for Minnesota, and now we're going to play some defense. There's less than 40 seconds to go. If they want to score 1 touchdown, which they're obviously not because they have to give the ball to us. And now Tony Jefferson is ready to return a punt here for the Bulldogs. So now he's going to return this one. He is at the 20-yard line, and he will get stopped at the 12. All right, now final 6 seconds of the game. We're at the 40-yard line, so now I'm going to throw the football, and I apparently do get sacked, and this ends the game. The London Bulldogs win their 14th game of the year, and it's now going to be 64-0. So the London Bulldogs win their final regular season home game over the Minnesota Vikings, 64-0. So this was a pretty fun game to watch here in this episode. So Bulldogs put up a defensive performance and special teams performance, keeping that in mind. So now we're going to check out the statistics here. Joe Flacco had a 154.4 passer rating, 8 out of 11 there, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. Drew Brees had 158.3 passer rating, 2 for 2, 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the day. And Roethlisberger had 153.0 passer rating, 5 for 7, 87 yards, and 1 touchdown on the day. So all these quarterbacks for London at least combined scored 6 touchdowns. So now Larry Fitzgerald, 4 receptions, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, 3 receptions, 87 yards on a touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, 4 receptions, 80 yards on a touchdown. Golden Tate and Harold McGrady both got 1 touchdown in this game. And Donta Hightower only had a touchdown reception from only 2 yards. So that was pretty good there for offensively. Quarterback sacks, J.J. Watt had 2. Adam Wentz, Matt Alcindor, Malcolm Jenkins, Jordan Hicks, and Tony Jefferson II all got at least a sack in this football game. So now forced fumbles, J.J. Watt had 2 and Donta Hightower had 1. Who scored the defensive touchdowns by those forced fumbles? Jalen Ramsey and Jaleel Mitchell. And now our punt return. 2 punt returns for Odell Beckham Jr., 106 yards. 85 was the longest, and that was the touchdown, by the way. And that wraps it up, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.